Welcome back, guys. It's been a long day here at Hoglund, but we hope some of you are still with us. We've got Q3 to come for RX2 and for Euro RX from here at Hoglund. Dan, we've had a change in the weather again, but it's looking a bit cloudy out on the horizon.
Yeah, so, I mean, from our commentary position, we can see sun on the last corner, but looking around the track, you can see it's starting to cloud over a bit, getting a little bit dark. Maybe the weather might come into play, but, well, we can see on the screens there, blue skies, maybe just patchy cloud out there.
Hopefully it's not going to rain for those of you who are down on Happy Street. We don't want your evenings ruined. There's the crowd looking forward to the last of the racing, and we're looking forward to it as well. So shouldn't be long now before we get the first of our RX2 runners on the grid and good to go. Oliver Eriksson has been the man to beat. He was first in Q1 and he was third in Q2. So Eriksson at the minute is sitting in the TQ spot. I say they've got a whole other session to go. Same as well for supercars with Euro. So we've got Robin Larson, who's right at the top of the table. I say it was a bit mixed in that last session because of the weather conditions. Where did Larson get? He got P2 in that as well. So a first and a second for Eriksson. And Eriksson was third actually in RX2. But Neil's down on the grid and he's going to have a catch up hopefully with some of the drivers ahead of this final session of qualifying here at Hoglund.
Yeah, this is a great place to be for our bonus live stream today. Qualifying 3 about to get underway, and here you can see the cars lined up in the RX2 category on the left and on the right. Let's jump in and have a quick...
Well, we've lost Neil down there on the grid. Sorry, a little problem with the signal. Maybe there's a big lightning storm coming in just to liven things up a little bit more. Dan, it's been a pretty carnage day, hasn't it? You know, we've got this last one. I say not last session of today, Saturday, and then the drivers can kind of a reset because it's been a long day. Yeah,
very long and so much action going on out on track in, you know, RX2, Euro RX and World RX, so much going on. And the drivers, I'm sure, will be pleased to get home and have a rest.
Yeah, massively. So will we. It's been dry, wet, dry, and for them, that's much more of a headache than it is for us. We think it's great. Obviously, their settings and chats with engineers and drivers and all the rest of it, looking at data. So very hard for them. Let's take a look at the standings for RX2 as we come into Q3. Okay, well, this is the action from earlier in the day. In fact, so that was McConnell and Hoglund. That was the first of our Turn 1 incidents. And this was Walfridson, who unfortunately got caught out in a similar way. Ended up in the wall, a little bit of contact as well between the various drivers through the course of the day, Dan. Eriksson, though, on a mission as always. Yeah, the guy just seems to be untouchable. That was him winning Q1. And then the heavens open. Now, you're not going to see Kallio's race first of all. You're going to see the wet races. So these were the guys after it started pouring with rain. Lavera, Haug, people spinning off left, right and centre, just about managed to hold on to cars in the background. You can see backwards into gravel traps again. But this was Jesse Kallio, who looked dry conditions. He got his run done just before the heavens opened. So he won the session, and that was a result because he's second in the championship and he had a shocker in Q1. That session win look for Kallio, moving him up from right at the bottom of the table to P4. Oliver Eriksson, the best of the drivers in the wet conditions. Then Philip Gunnarsson second. Petter Learhol is right up there. Look, Sami Matti Trogan, Nilsson, Mitchlack and Olofsson, your top 8. And these are the guys who are making it or not. So McConnell, Enland, Accra and Walfridson in the lower end of the top 12. And it's Gryazin, Oscarson, Volders, Ostland and everyone behind them looking to try to make it through to the semi-finals. Right, straight into the racing then. Let's get it done, shall we? Fraser McConnell's in this one. Didn't have a great time last time out.
Damage to the rear right of his car from contact.
Was indeed, thank you Dan. And then Lars-Erik Haug and Albert Lavera. Lavera was going well, wasn't he? He got a good start in the wet conditions and then unfortunately made a mistake at the bottom of the hill. Great reaction time from McConnell there on the inside. 0.5 compared to 0.6 of the others. Lavera's got faster starts. I wonder if Lavera's had something done to the hand clutch on his car.
Yeah, it would be great if that was the case. Because he was losing out. His reaction time was always a little bit slower, of course, which couldn't be helped by him because of his slower releasing clutch. So maybe our shout-outs on the live stream gave him a helping hand to get someone to develop.
Someone sort it out, either that or it's just it's working a bit better. But McConnell is currently, where is he in the standings? McConnell is third. He got a P2 back in Spain. Since then he's been fifth. He only made the semis in the UK. He was sixth in Norway. I'm impressed with him. You know, Dan, you rode with me at Kota last year when you saw him racing in ARX while we were commentating World RX. Aggressive driver, RX2 it was, you know, and it's great for him, isn't it, to have come
the side of his car. That's Usain Bolt's electric
company,
scooters, yeah.
He doesn't need one, of course. Usain Bolt, no need of electric transport. Well, I'm sure now he's retired, he wouldn't mind not running everywhere. But yeah, Usain Bolt back in Fraser McConnell. He was visited by Sean Paul at Speed Machine. He's got massive support at home in Jamaica, and I know with all the Jamaicans who are living over in the UK, there were a load of them came up with Silverstone. So it's just fun, isn't it? You know, most of our drivers are Scandinavian, and I liked it when Martel came over last year. We had a number of American drivers who come and joined us as well. And with the series over there now, there is that crossover.
Yeah, and Martel competing in, sorry, not Martel, O'Connell, and Martel actually at the time was competing in both ARX2 and RX2, and that gives them this little bit of extra seat time to learn these cars, because of course it is a spec vehicle, and any additional time you can get in the car really pays off.
It was interesting, was it, last year Conor Martel had a different setup, really, didn't he, on his ARX2 car to his RX2 car, even when he was racing in Canada, and it was the same track.
Yeah, I think one of his cars was set up for the tarmac sections, and the other one was set up for the gravel, but there wasn't actually very much time difference in the lap times.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? What was it, one by Farron and one by Dirtfish? I think, I can't remember.
Yeah, that was the one.
So Oliveira loses out at the merge. Haug's going to get P2, but McConnell is nicely in front here. It's a good drive by Fraser. Fastest time in Q1 was 3:10.6, which was Ericsson, and McConnell did, what did he do? McConnell did a 3:11.4, he was second. So let's see what the track conditions are like now. So it's been a significant break since the rain. I don't know whether or not there could be a fair bit of dirt still on the circuit, I think, from that, but it's going to stop the clocks at 3:11.9, very nice. So 3:11.9, he's only half a second slower than Fraser went in Q1 to take P2. So that's a decent time. Dan, what do you think about track conditions? Yeah, do you think is it going to be dirty from the wet?
Yeah, I think with the rain coming on there, and it would have dragged more dirt onto the tarmac, and the rubber would have come off of the tarmac as well, so a bit slippier this time out.
3:11.9 then is impressive from McConnell. So good start by Fraser on the inside. See no judder from the car, so he's got the traction and got away from the line. Oliveira doing nicely to be up with the pack. We think maybe some development work on that car. With the, of course, they're spec cars, but when you're using hand controls in them, that's free. And Oliveira's car weighs a little bit more than the others, doesn't it, thanks to his hand controls. So always a pleasure to have Albert with us. McConnell, miles out in front.
Yeah, comfortably out in front there, so good for him. He needed the clear run, and Neil is with him now.
So Fraser, after Q2 was very wet and tricky, that's back on form in Q3.
Yeah, we've been on form pretty much all day, just had a little bad luck going into corner 2 with Q2, got some contact in the rear. That bent the right back corner and then snapped the drive shaft eventually, so couldn't do much. We got to the finish, and you know my style, I kind of go, and if something bad happens, forget about it and full forward, and hopefully this is enough to beat the guys after me.
Yeah, it's a good time, well done.
Thank you.
Fraser taking it very seriously, his approach to it all. In the first race there, it can be an advantage, can't it, down only having 3 cars on the track.
Yeah, you avoid having that messy turn 1 and 2 incidents, which is handy, and then of course the spotters have only got to look at 2 other drivers other than yourself, rather than the 5 that we're going to see later on in these races.
Tactics come less into it, don't they? 3 cars, 4 laps, you can all choose your own joker. You've got 5 cars, somebody is always going to have to joker with somebody else. Look at that sunshine in the background and the farmland area, lovely. There's a river literally a couple of 100 metres from the track, beautiful wide river, there's a dam just up the road, stunning part of the world. No time to look at it for these guys though. Kaliamaki, Enland and Askland. Askland is quick into turn 1, almost too quick, somehow holds on to that. Oh, I reckon he wanted to go standard lap there, Dan.
Yeah, he would have definitely wanted to go standard lap, but so much speed through turn 1 and not able to slow the car down for turn 2, he was better off going to the joker lap where the braking point is later.
I thought he was a bit brave in turn 1, but I like to see it, but he was proper on it, wasn't he?
Yeah,
two that are joking. If I was Enland, I think I might be thinking about jokering now, because you know he had a mistake on the run into it, so in theory you do a quick joker now and you come out in front, but let's see, he's in a little fight here which could hold him up as well, with Kalimaki all over the back of him.
Yeah, and the gap just increased from 3.2 to 3.9 as well, so Edlund looking like he's got more pace than these guys. I think he's been looking quite quick all weekend. I think he had a bit of a troubled run in the wet, yeah. Was he one of the guys that was out on the slicks?
Maybe he was, no, because he was third in the first session, so he would have been out fairly late, wouldn't he? So he was third in Q1, but then he was 17th in Q2, so whatever it was that went wrong, I'm going to say, you have to forgive us when I can't remember everything. We have seen quite a lot of races today, Dan, haven't we?
Yeah, quite a bit, but for him to be P3 in the first qualifying session was very impressive. He's not one of the regular drivers that we normally see, so only coming in first. We see him move in the background, Mackie going up the inside of Hoglund on the hairpin.
Arsenal made a mistake, I think, on the brakes after the jump.
But yeah, for Enland coming in as a wildcard entry to go P3 in what we know is a very strong field of RX2 cars, it is very impressive. So this time by him could be one to challenge McConnell. His lap time last time round was 6/10 slower than McConnell's best, but he does still have this lap and then his joker lap to do as well.
Hooking a wheel over the inside, Edmonds taking risks in that fast right-hander. Let's see if it's paying off on the timesheets or not, because it doesn't always. So this one is a 46.6, so that's a 10th quicker than the previous lap, but still half a second off McConnell. So it's going to come down to Edland's joker. How quick can he go? And he's gone it well quick. That's very fast on entry. Held on to that beautifully. I have to say, Edland there, super committed. That might be enough to close the gap down to McConnell. It's very aggressive driving. So we know he's quick because he was third behind McConnell and Ericsson in Q1. Edland absolutely on it. Was McConnell done enough to keep him behind? Because those guys both didn't have a great run. So in fact, McConnell's 9th and Edland is 10th. Coming into this, Edland backs it into the right-hander. He's chasing that time. It's going to be close, you know. Kaliamaki's there as well. Not quite enough. So he's a second off the pace, goes P2. So McConnell leads after 2 races.
Edlund looks to be struggling with a bit of understeer there on the hairpin, so something to look at overnight for him.
There it is, Edlund, Kalimaki and Hoglund. And McConnell still leads, but those 3 going quicker than the other 2 from McConnell's run.
So here's the replays off the line, and Edlund actually not getting away very well at all. I've noticed when the reaction timers came up, he was 2/10 slower on reactions than the other 2 guys. But with Hoglund making that mistake in turn 1, Edlund was able to get into the standard lap, and then Hoglund holding up Kaliamaki all the way through the joker.
I was going to say Kaliamaki actually, I think, could have had a better result. If you look, this was where he got past a big mistake from Hoglund on the brakes. But Kaliamaki got held up and he was pretty close behind. But also that first corner instant, you know, where he's gone too deep, he's gone on the brakes and off them and back on the gas again, and he just lost a bit of time. So great drive by Edlund. He's quick.
Martin, nice to get a race win here in Höljes. Talk us through that race.
Yeah, it was a little bit of carnage in the first corner, but both of them go into the joker, so I just go the normal lap.
And the rest of it, are you enjoying racing here at Höljes?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy to drive here. It's really fun, all the fans and everything.
Good, well done, thanks.
So many Swedish drivers racing at home. How many have we got in RX2 alone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 9 out of our 21 drivers here are Swedish. Dan, they all want to win this one, don't they? If you've only got the budget for one event in the year, for some reason you go to the most competitive, most heavily entered event. You know, you're better off, aren't you, going somewhere where there aren't so many cars to get a result, but that's not what they want.
No, I mean, I think if I only had the budget for one event, I would come here, and I'm not even Swedish.
Yeah. Honorary Swede, mate. Took the win, didn't you, eh?
I need to learn some Swedish before I can become an honorary one, I think, mate.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play. We are lacking in the Swedish language. Apologies. Q3 race 3. Marcus Hoglund, Vasily Gryazin, Linus Osland, Mats Oskarsson and Stein Fredrik Ackler. So we saw Hoglund then a bit of a shocker, didn't he, in turn 2 in one of our sessions, I think it was Q1 today. Got the inside line, but as we've seen, it's not always the best place to be. 3-4 car contact, that's worked out nicely, but Hoglund is the only one who's released from that pack. You can see there, you can see from the attitude of Greisen's car where he was going to go. Just holds on across the 2. That's a good joke of that for Greisen.
Yeah, very smooth, big commitment on the way in, and then able to have a really straight line over the 2 curbs and get the best.
Hoglund behind him was potentially going to collect him on the way because he looked like he was having a look up the inside, but actually Greisen had just set it up beautifully and back on the gas and away. Yeah,
it was a really, really good job by him. But Hoglund out front, he's in need of a good run. Of course, we saw him have a DNF in Q1, and then Q2 was when he was in the dry race with Kallio, but he forgot to take a joker lap, so had to face the 30-second time penalty, but got quite lucky because, of course, the rain came in the race after his.
Some people still make, dropped off the back. But imagine if he hadn't had it, he'd be straight up into the semis, wouldn't he?
Yeah, so
awkward with him and his spotter, but you don't know what's happened, you know. He might not even have a spotter. You know, there are some people who don't, or he might have had a radio issue. But I suspect he just got the old red mist, didn't he, and was like, no, I'm not going this lap. I'll go next lap, and then saw the checkered flag.
Big jump by him. There's these RX2 cars, they tend to fly with the back end, always seems to try and overtake the front end as they go through the air. They can buck the back end right up high.
As long as it's not end over end, mate, it's not too bad, is it, eh? We can all deal with a little spin, but we don't want a big end over end stack. We had tree felling earlier on today in Euro RX, waiting to see whether or not we see Rodolfo Duran back out after his escapades up at the velodrome.
On a big push, you can see he's got the gap of 4 seconds to Greisen there. Just have a look at his lap times. He's actually gone faster than McConnell. He's dead at 45.7 and McConnell was at 46.1.
Look at his splits as well on the next lap. They're exactly the same, 17-0, 15-0 on the 2 splits. What's he going to get here? 13.5, so he drops 1/10, is it? Yeah, no, he's gone
faster, yeah. So in the overall lap, he's actually only 0.036 faster on that lap.
That's impressive, impressively consistent, isn't it? All jokered. Hoglund leading. He really could do the win if he could get the win. He's picked the throttle up early through velodrome as well. Seems to have found a way to hold some pace through there. He had P21 with that DNF, then P11. Currently down in 18th place, needs to be 12th. Leans on the car through the right-hander over the jump. I'll tell you what, I think he's going to get McConnell's time here. I think he's got enough time to get it round towards the line. This is a fantastic run. Hoglund is going to go fastest.
Fastest time of the weekend for RX2, that one.
Yeah, he's, 3:09.1. 1.5 seconds quicker than Ericsson went in Q1. So Marcus Hoglund has raised the bar for RX2. Greisen with a time which is impressive as well. And then it's Ostlund, Frederick Akra and Oskarsson. Fraser McConnell drops to 3rd. So Greisen just gets him by 0.4 of a second. Marcus Hoglund, though, very, very quick indeed, showing what might have been. You know, the wet race down is hard to judge, isn't it? But he'll be gutted about the run in Q1. So Hoglund looking for a great result here this weekend. Another one of our Swedes racing at home. I thought Greisen's joker might be enough there to see him challenge, but I mean, okay, he did challenge, but he's 2.4 off the bat. If it hadn't been Hoglund on an absolute flyer, Greisen's time was good enough to be up towards the top all day long.
Yeah, Greisen has always been one of the front runners of RX2, been there or thereabouts, and he had bad luck in Norway where we saw him roll out of the first race of the weekend.
He's first corner of the first lap when it first rained. It was exciting for us. It certainly woke us up. We'll just have a little chill out, get ready for the rest of the day, and he binned it in turn 1.
Marcus, you really needed a good result, and it looks like you were pushing for one.
Yes, now we're pushing, and I hope this is the first time now. I pushing and crashed the first race, and the second race I don't take the joker, so the head is not here, but now I hope we have the fastest time, so we need the points.
You are fastest so far, so fingers crossed.
That's good. I hear that in the radio, so that's good.
Thank you, well done.
Thank you.
There we go, then a crash and a missed joker avenged with what could well be the quickest time here. So we might have somebody there who can challenge the likes of Kallio and Ericsson and McConnell. That's not to say that most of these guys couldn't challenge them. 5 cars in this one are Michalak, Olofsson, Leohol, Volders and Nilsson. Dan, you were saying they're avoiding something in the pre-grid.
Yeah, so when they come to line up, there's a big puddle on which is left of our screen. You can't really see it from our angle, but the guy on the pole is having to go to the middle of the lineup and then drive back across to avoid getting wet tyres.
Michalak's had good starts so far this weekend, left-hand side of your picture. It's another very fast reaction time. Michalak, 0.49. Oh, he's over! Oh, big crash, massive shunt. Leohol has had a multiple roll in turn 1. So I don't know where's the car. Is it out in the gravel? I think it is. So Petter Leohol with a big crash in turn 1. Thumbs up.
Yeah, that's
okay, that's great news. So, not great news in terms of the crash, but great news that Leohol is okay. As we've said countless times before, the cars we're not too fussed about. We can repair cars. It's a shame, you know, with your budget and so on, but we only worry about the drivers. There he is. He's okay. Good stuff. So Michalak leads. Nilsson in P2. Nilsson's chosen to run his own car. Dan, we spoke about it a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, so Nilsson choosing to run his own car. That's going to help him with budgets and so on and so forth to run. Michalak front left puncher. Sorry, I just saw as he came over the crest for turn 1. Front left puncher for Michalak. That'll be from the contact with Leohol in the first lap that put him over. So Michalak is not going to be on for a good time here. It's probably worse to have a puncher on the front than it is the back, because
you lose so much time, don't you? Every corner that goes in the direction where that tire's on the outside, you're in trouble. Oh, he's not happy, look. Dirt everywhere as well from being rolled over. You can see it's all over his race suit, probably dirt in the mouth, everything. So in the background you can see Michalak. Michalak was in 7th, having had a 12th and a 6th so far today. The puncture's going to drop him down the order, and Danny's heart breaking in when you get a puncture early in a race. Yeah, the last lap you're like, okay, I can hold on, maybe get, you know, keep a few positions. If you get it on the second lap, it's
it's hard work, and you know that you've got to deal with that for the rest of the race is the worst thing. And you start to try different driving styles as you go around just to see what works to make it turn in, but when it's on the front tyre, there's kind of like no real option apart from a big grab on the bar and then just hope for the best.
Yeah. Ooh, moment in the background. Volders all crossed up as he came out from the jump. He's held onto it in the background, as you can see.
Nilsson will be going for the joker lap this time around, which frees up Simon Olofsson.
So it's 1.9 back to Volders. Let's see what the difference is. I reckon it's 2.5. What do you think?
Yeah, let's look at what the difference is. They next come over the split. So that's 2.1 back to Nilsson from Olofsson, but yeah,
it doesn't give us the gap we need, does it?
No.
Olofsson into the right-hander. His lap times are okay, but they're not on pace with Hoglund. So Olofsson's going to take the win, but he's not going to go fastest. What is the time? 3:13.7. Wins this one, and crossing the line now is Michalak. It's going to be enough for about 7th place. Olofsson, Volders, Nilsson, Michalak and Leohol with a DNF after a big roll in turn 1. And Olofsson, 8th place, just behind Jami Kalliomäki. Have a look at the start for this one. Boulders seemingly a little bit late on the reaction. Michelak, but watch for Leohol trying to come around the outside here. Oh!
God, that was a big old yeah, I don't know how many times whenever should we try and count. So
has he caught the front? Has he caught the tyre again? Has he turned in?
I think Michelak hit him in the door, it looked like, and as he was coming over the crest, the car's already going light, and you can see the punch there on the front of Michelak's car. Yeah. But yeah, as he's coming light over the crest, he's caught the front of Michelak as well, and it's just enough to top him over.
3 rolls the replay guys are telling us. If we get time while that car's been recovered, we'll see if we can take another look at that, because I'm keen to see whether or not the roll cage is damaged. Win for Olofsson.
Simon, good to get a race win. Talk us through it.
We are still struggling with the start, as you see, but we took a decision to take the Joker, and they were struggling in the ordinary lap hour. But with 2 win, happy with that.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you.
Olofsson going to roll back to the paddock. Unfortunately, Leohol has just been rolling into turn 1, so he will be dragged back to the paddock. We're going to see, hopefully we're going to have another look at this one, so we'll get Dan to talk us through what he thinks has happened. And looking at the damage again, well, we're looking at it from up here. I'm not so sure. You rolled one of these once, Dan, and it was a big old bill, wasn't it? But looking at that car, do you think that's the roll cage is damaged or not?
I mean, it's hard to see because the body of the car is so close to the top of the roll cage anyway. Without having seen more angles of the car, I couldn't really tell. But I mean, when I rolled, it was only like 40 miles an hour. It wasn't very fast. But I think Leohol was lucky he went into the gravel, so hopefully that would have softened his blow.
Full-on tumble dryer. So let's have another look at the turn 1 incident here. So coming around the outside, up to turn 1, Michelak's leading, and then he's so unlucky. So he got the lock on the other way, didn't he?
Yeah, I think
3.
As
you reckon?
Yeah, as the car went light over the crest there, just contact with Michelak, and it's just enough.
No, I don't reckon that's 2, 3, but I don't think it's too bad in terms of impacts.
No, I think he seemed to go on his roof. You can see the scuff marks on his roof where it was on the tarmac, where he scuffed along the roof rather than the gravel. So that could have been where the damage was caused.
Okay, so over, but maybe not out. We'll have to see. Leohol, of course, so they've got all night to fix that car. And Leohol was, looking at my list, I can't see where he was. Where was Leohol? Neither of us can see him on our list. We need... Okay. Oh, he was 3rd. We're looking too far down. There we go. So Petter Leohol was P3. So he had a 4th and an 8th, and that goes to show you the inconsistency of some of the others, because a 4th and an 8th was enough. Down across the front. Well, mind you, what's in the front? Everything is bolt off, isn't it? You know, mid-engine in the rear, A-pillars, though. Look at the front left A-pillar.
Yeah, that one is definitely squished down a bit there. I think it's going to be a bit of damage on that one.
Well, we'll see. So if the roll cage is damaged, he's out for the weekend, isn't he?
Yeah.
But they do have all night to fix that, and believe me, they will stay up all night if they need to. Final race of qualifying for Saturday here at Holliers for these guys. Q3, race 5, RX2. Kallio, Walfridsson, Eriksson, Trogan and Gundersen. Gundersen's been 7th and 5th, Eriksson 1st and 3rd. Kallio has been at 19th and 1st. Another good start by Eriksson in the middle of the grid, but he is surrounded by quick drivers. Trogan on the outside gets a bit of contact. Gundersen trying to try and go around the long way. Gundersen's going to end up over the curve big time. He's straight into the door of Kallio. Kallio and Gundersen side by side. Kallio's maybe going to get this. Gundersen's being very aggressive there. Oliver Eriksson has dropped back, I think, in the joke running. Walfridsson got ahead of him. He did, so I didn't quite see what happened to Ollie there, because I thought he was going Joker first, but I must say there was so much going on in the standard lap, I'm not sure.
I think Ollie was maybe looking to go standard lap, and then with the contact from Gundersen from the side of him, just decided to get out of it. And in that time, Walfridsson able to go around the outside of him, where he's already chosen to go for the Joker and carried that extra speed.
Committed to it early, yeah. I love that about him, though, the fact that if you make that late decision, when you look at the merge, he's often, 4/10. If you make the decision to go go late, it's probably too late anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to be committed. Well, Alfredson big sideways over the first corner, saw in the background, 2 wheels, and then he seems to be holding Ericsson up now. Ericsson's all over the back of him. We're watching the battle between Kallio and Gunderson, and
I'd be sending them to the Joker now if I were their spotters, because if you know Ericsson's having a little bit of a ding-dong back behind with Alfredson, you know, if anybody can get past Ollie will, so you might as well chuck him into the Joker, unless they feel he can't pass him. If they don't think he'll get past Alfredson, then well, fair enough, hold on and build the gap. But
yeah, you can see the 2 guys there. Ollie's all over the back of him, maybe look up the inside, but no, Alfredson's got that covered, but he's a bit sideways on the way around, so Ollie might be able to get a look in, but not quite. So Ollie's still stuck behind. I think we might be seeing Gunderson go in.
Goes, look at that, beautifully sent in, lovely weight on the car through there, flicks it back the other way, every inch of the track, that's tidy.
Yeah, very tidy there, and comfortable lead in front of Alfredson as well on the exit.
Not a lot of point really in Ollie Ericsson giving these guys too much hassle. Gunderson's on 76 qualifying points, Ericsson's on 92, so 16 points in between them, Dan. For me, although it will be frustrating not to get a great time, he's going to have the overnight TQ, you know, and he's only got 1 qualifying session to go. I'd be thinking, you know, don't damage the car, don't do anything stupid.
I mean, that's one way Luke's going to go on the inside. Oh, no, he thought better of it, but I think one thing he might be thinking about is race position for tomorrow. Of course, they've still got Q4 to go tomorrow, and he's going to be wanting to get a good grid slot.
And be in with the quick guys, of course. Joker out front, Kallio and Trogan. As Trogan got in front of Gunderson. Oh, Gunderson aggressive. Trogan's going to Gunderson's pushed him off. He'll get in trouble for that. That's the 3rd time today I've seen Gunderson. Absolute bun fight going on here. Ericsson's at the back of it. Can he pick up a place or 2? Going to go at the inside of Trogan. Trogan's been totally mugged there.
Yeah, Gunderson has been super aggressive, hasn't he? And he got disqualified in Barcelona for his aggressive driving, and well, he seems to be on it against Ayaz. Ollie ran a bit wide over the jump and nearly dropped it on the brakes, but he was okay.
Kallio does a 3:10.1, which is a 2nd off the lead pace. I've just seen as well that 98 RX2 has been given a penalty for track markers. That is
Stein Frederick Acra.
Okay, so here we go. Kallio takes it 3:10.1, then Gunderson, Walfson, Ericsson and Trogan. I personally think Gunderson's going to get a little talking to there, but we'll see. Gunderson goes 8th, Kallio gets up into 2nd place, so that's a really good result for Kallio. Potentially could see him move up, I think, towards P2. With Gunderson down in 8th, and that would be an amazing recovery after what happened. So let's have a look at the first couple of corners. Talk about Ericsson here in his decision-making, Dan.
Yeah, so Ericsson here is in a bit of a sandwich, and then Gunderson running over the curbs, and Ericsson decided to get better of it and go into the Joker lap, which was a very smart move by him. But you can see really leaning on Gunderson over the curb, Ollie getting pushed out, and it's better for him to go Joker rather than try and anchor it up and go standard lap.
He tagged the back of Kallio, but that's that's no biggie. So we want to see slightly later in the race, you're going to see the merge between Gunderson and Trogan. So Trogan had done well to get in front. That's this, isn't it? This was the earlier Joker. Ollie Ericsson being held up a little bit. Wait to see Sammy Matti Trogan. Now, this was an attempt up the inside, but a half-hearted one. If that had been for the win, it might have been different. So this is Trogan. Is it into the Joker? I think it is with Kallio. So Kallio leading, Trogan in P2. And watch for the merge. Dan, have a look at this.
Yeah, so Kallio there getting the line, and then Gunderson keeping the power on, and he's still got the power on.
Isn't it? It's not the merge, it's the push in the next corner, and then Trogan just out the back door.
Yeah, so it's him not backing out once they've made the contact.
Okay, well, let's see whether or not Gunderson's going to get pulled up. So I thought he got away with it early on today. Like Ben Phillips, he's a lovely bloke, but he's pushing his luck today. Kallio takes it.
Yes, see, that was quite a busy race, lots of contact in there, but you came out in front and that puts you in P2 overall.
Yeah, that was a really good end for the day, and of course it was really tight battle in the first corner. I managed to came clean out and good to climb to second overall after the really bad first heat.
Keep it up, see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
There you go then, Kallio. up into P2, as we suggested he might be. Oliver Ericsson leading, but look, Kallio's only 4 points behind him, having had a terrible run in Q1, so done really well there in Q2 and Q3. Ben Philip Gunderson is in 3rd place, Fraser McConnell is in 4th, so that's a big move up for Fraser. Fraser was a long way down in 9th place, Gryers in 5th, Enland, Hoglund, Olofsson, your top 8. At the minute, Sami Matti Trogan, Oscarson, Walfredson and Linus Ostlund are in. William Nilsson looking 13th, Learhole 14th. Whether or not Learhole's going to get that car back out or not, Jami Kaliamaki, Steve Boulders, there's a lot to play for tomorrow. The points gaps are very small. So those guys are going to bed with the majority of the work done, Dan, and I actually think that's quite nice, because normally you go to bed on Saturday night having only done 2 sessions. It's, oh, you TQ, there's a long way to go.
Yeah, so it is nice for them to manage to get a lot of the weekend out of the way already, but for Ollie Eriksson, he came into this qualifying race with a big gap of points, and now he's only got 4 points. Was it back to Kallio?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's going to be going, right, I need to make sure I get a really solid run tomorrow.
Well, okay, we'll see. So we've got Q3 coming up for Euro RX, and you can take a look back at what happened earlier on today in Q1 and Q2. So this was how things kicked off. Lovely dry conditions, bit of contact there, which saw Fuchik heading off towards the Marshall Post in turn 1. Did well to avoid that. Robin Larson, though, was the man. He went 2 seconds faster than anyone else to win Q1. Q2, and it was wet conditions. Tiedemann was sending it around the outside. This was the biggest moment of the session. Rodolphe Audran in the orange 208 spun around, felling trees at the side of the track, Dan, and that was a nasty offering, and I'm glad to say he was perfectly okay, while Peter Hedstrom went on to win the session with a great drive. A drying track as well, helping him out, no doubt. Robin Larson right there as well. Larson then ahead of Hedstrom with a session win each. Brinderson looking 3rd, Walfredson, De Bourg, Munich, JB De Bourg, Mikko Ikonen is in 8th. And we don't have a second page, I believe, so that's your top 8. We do. Tamas Karai, Pontus Tiedemann, Mats Oman and Sondre Evjen are currently in. So it's tight, though. Look at the gaps again down the right-hand side. There's 2 points there between 8 different people. So all to play for. And we've got 1 session tonight, and then we've got their final qualifying session tomorrow morning in between the 2 sessions for World. So in this one then, next to each other is, have a look and see. Oh, it's Daniel Thoren and Rodolphe Audran. Audran was fired off into the trees by Daniel Thoren, who I think was given a bit of a penalty. Let's have a look. Sondre Evjen on the inside, then it's Steinhilger Jensen, Daniel Thoren and Rodolphe Audran. We've just seen contact under investigation between RX2 number 16 and number 22. 22 is Sami Matti Trogan. 16 is Ericsson. Seems strange to me. So good start between Thoren and Audran. Audran gave him plenty of room, didn't he, off the start? But it is Sondre Evjen who gets up the inside into turn 1. Where's Audran going to go? Audran goes choker, but that's gutting because he lost out, almost stopped the car, and those two had thrown away a ton of seconds in the first corner, Dan.
Yeah, just that little bit of confusion of which way to go was just enough to, you know, that just tiny bit of delay, that's half a second gone, so they've already dropped off the back of 6 seconds off the back of Evjen there, so Evjen can almost do a joker lap twice at this point, so yeah, not very great for them, but Sondre needs a good run. We saw pace from him in Q1. Where did he finish in Q1?
7th in Q1, 21st though in Q2. And we saw pace as well, of course, in Norway, didn't we? Fantastic. Just not quite getting everything together exactly how they want, but you know, it's getting there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just piecing it all together to get a clean whole race.
When you say a whole race, we mean a whole weekend, though, don't we, as well? Because that's the thing with this. In my very limited experience of doing a few rallycross events, everything has to go right. Like one bad run and you're on row 2 or whatever, and then you don't get the start, and then you don't make the final. And that was what Kristoffersen was the master of, wasn't it? Was making everything go right.
Yeah, you kind of needed it to be perfect from Q1. I mean, if you had a bad Q1, then you're in bad running for Q2. Then it's not very good. As we see damage on the front right there of it is Jensen's car. Not too sure. Front right wheel looked a little bit funny, but maybe we'll get another glimpse of that later on. But Sondre Evjen's very clear out in front, isn't he?
Daniel Thoron in second place. To be fair, both these guys are so far ahead of Jensen and Audran. As you said, they can joker definitely once. Evjen waiting for the last lap. Fair enough in these dry conditions. They're I was going to say they're not exactly pulling up trees, but that's not really appropriate with Audran after earlier on today. I'm very glad to see he's okay. This was where he had his issue, getting just fired off to the right-hand side. But yeah, we did see a car off up there last year. We saw someone in the branding up there. We've never seen someone in the trees, though. So Evjen is pushing really hard. Look, flicks the car lovely over the crest into that right. Gonna go joker now. In tidy. Clip the curb. Don't clip the bollard on the inside of it, on the gas. It's a good run from Sondre Evjen. So let's see what times Evjen has done so far this weekend. 3:03.6 was his time in the dry. So Sondre Evjen is in 12th place. Move it up now would be a good way to go to sleep.
Big commitment down the hill there by him. You can just see the gap he's got to everyone else behind him. Oh, a bit of a clip on the inside there.
Take a look at the clock. Oh, he's off. He's dropped it on the brakes after the jump, but gets away with it.
Front right.
No! Sondre Evjen just at the finish. Loses a couple of seconds, 3:06.0. That's the 3 seconds, isn't it, Dan, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. It was a big amount of time lost there. And such a shame on literally like the second to last corner.
But that's what we were talking about. It's all got to go right. Not just to the last, nearly the last corner, because the 3 seconds is 5 places, is 10 qualifying points, is 11th, not 7th, and it all adds up. So Sondre Evjen will be disappointed with that. Takes the win from Thoron, Jensen and Audran, but with that mistake right at the end of the race, yeah, not ideal. Let's have a look here when Audran goes to the joker lap with Jensen. It's, there's just so much hesitation from both of them. You almost wonder if they're in the wrong gear or having to think about it. I mean, it just too much time lost, Dan.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too cautious. I mean, see, Jensen was caught up behind Thoron, and then Audran just didn't really know where he was going, really, did he? He didn't want to be pushed out into the barrier by Jensen coming across.
Evjen putting in such a good run, but we're going to see that mistake, I'm sure, at the end of the race. This was it, and he just gets a tiny bit of understeer, doesn't he? And then that's it, he's on the dirt. Then he's carrying 25 clicks too much. And the tyre just off, must have pushed it off on the back of the curb on the way back onto the track. So there we go. Good, but not perfect.
Sondre, we know this car has great pedigree. It feels good on this circuit, and you were driving it so well right till that last corner.
Yeah, we're struggling a bit today with the start, so it was good to finally get some fresh air, and unfortunately we broke the steering now in the last corner, so we'll see what the time is in the end, but hopefully we can climb in the overall.
But ultimately you must be happy with the pace up until that point.
Yeah, sure. It all feels good, so hope for the best for tomorrow.
Thank you. If you just stay there a moment, come with us. We'll show you the damage from that mistake on the front right-hand corner before Sondre Evjen pulls away. If you just have a look here, you can see that front right fully punctured, and if he tries to pull away, we'll see what happens to the wheel as he launches off. It still goes.
It does indeed. It does indeed. But yeah, a few seconds lost there. What are we seeing on the timing screens, Dan? RX2 number 16.
Ollie Eriksson, 5-second penalty for track markers.
Okay, that could potentially, could that not put Kallio up into TQ after Q3? We'll see if we can have a look and add that up. 5-second penalty for Ollie Eriksson. Where's it dropped him to? Is that updated?
He's not even in the top 10 there at the moment.
As we can see on the timing screen's been updated. We're having a little look now. It drops Eriksson to 19th, we think. So Eriksson has dropped to 19th. This is for RX2. News just in. So Barbosa in this one. Moser, Johansson, Oman and Temte. That is a disaster for Ollie Eriksson.
Also, time penalty for Gunderson.
5 seconds on Gunderson. That will be for the contact with Sami Matti. Very long hold there, Matti. Mats Oman doesn't get away from the line. Remember all those hand controls he's using. That would have been hard work for him. Barbosa loses out 2, goes to P3. It is up and over the curves. Oh, contact again, almost into the Marshall post. It's all going off.
Johansson there, I believe, is the guy out in front who is struggling to keep it under control there, but he's managing to pull a gap again now to Moser behind him. Already up to 0.8, you can see on the top left of your screen.
I want to see what Mats Oman can do from here. We know how quick he is. It's just a case of finding a way to do it. He's all over the back already of Barbosa. Mats just didn't get a good start. So he has such complicated procedures in that car with his hand controls, trying to find traction on the inside of Barbosa. Very popular driver here. He took a heat race win, I remember a couple of years ago. I think it was in World. I think he'd entered the World and they went absolutely gutted. Decision from both.
Yeah, I think, for me, I think Oman was already going in there, and then Barbosa hit the gravel that's been dragged across the track from Johansson, and then decided it was better to not try and anchor up and go standard, and went Joker, and then compromise Oman.
Johansson still leads down the hill. Being chased nicely by Moser. Moser's car looking very tidy, I have to say. A few little rucks building up in the gravel here, Dan, but the track development at Hollis is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it holds up really well, this track, and I'm sure the guys are going to be working tonight with the grader as well.
Moser's gone Joker to try and protect from Barbosa behind. Oh, into the side of Barbosa. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, no, to be fair, he's alongside him, so... seeing some tired drivers here towards the end of the day again. You know, we saw a bit of carnage this morning. I think people were making crazy decisions, all fired up. Then it got wet, and that, if anything, that seemed to calm it down. Although we were seeing driving mistakes, people weren't being so ballsy on their approach to everything. And now, at the end of a long day, you know, in and out of the car is really tiring. It's hard, isn't it? It would be easier to get in it for half an hour than it is to get in and out of it 5 times.
Yeah, that's one thing that, from working with a driver coach personally, that they have said about Rallycross, it's the adrenaline high and adrenaline low that you don't normally get with circuit racing. It's the 6 minutes of absolutely crazy action, and then the hour you get to chill out, and then the high again. It's just ridiculously tiring.
Yeah, really, really wears you out, and that's why the fitness is important. Don't let anyone ever tell you it's just driving a car. But if you're watching this, you know it's not just driving a car. So that's not just driving a car, but it's sideways in 5th gear, knowing over the jump, into the hairpin, bit of handbrake. Come on, Johansson.
Pilot lessons in the air.
Yeah. Johansson takes it, 3:11.3. It's going to be good enough for 3rd. Oh, sorry, 2nd. Just 6 thousandths ahead of Thoren. So Johansson, the winner from Moser, Barbosa, Oman, Temte. Here's where they slot in. Look at that. Sondrevsson looking really good. I'd have to say that if he'd gone that 2-3 seconds quicker, he'd be looking epic, wouldn't he? Be 8 seconds up at this point with pretty much half the field gone. Yeah, bad start. Oman obviously left on the grid. Always amazes me how far behind you can be on the grid, but then with all the carnage in turn 1, you're instantly back on the back of the pack. But in some ways, that's even more frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, and there was certainly carnage on the way through the first 2 corners with these guys, with Johansson getting it all crossed up, and that meant that Oman was able to catch up on the back. And are we seeing here where he went for the Joker? No, that was the lap before. So
yeah, this is Moser coming out of the Joker, merging fairly robustly with Barbosa. I don't think Stuart's a look at that, to be honest.
No, I mean, it's normally give way to the lane lap, but yeah, no, there wasn't like a big shunt that meant that one of the drivers couldn't carry on.
No. And it was side-by-side contact as well, which is usually viewed a little more favourably.
Stina, Andre, at the end of a long day's racing, it must be nice to get a win here in Höljes.
Yeah, this was very good now. we are struggling a lot today, so but now I feel comfortable, so that's very good.
Thank you.
Last of the cars pulls up to the line for race 3. Let's have a look at the lineup, shall we? Karai is on the inside, then it's Mandy, August, Pleskovas, Vucic and Bulio, but Karai the only one who's currently in the semi-finals. Pleskovas, August, Bulio, all with a shot. I think Vucic, it's a bit of a long shot, but I say we've had such an up and down weekend. I think there are so many people who've had one good and one bad that actually a mega result, like a top 3 in a session, could be enough to drag a lot of drivers up into the semi. So let's see. Karai's going to be the one who's keenest to jump start.
Mandy, August.
Yeah, you see the sensors down. But yeah, Karai will be the one when he wants to get away from these guys as much as he can. God, I don't like to bang on about the weather, but it's absolutely freezing now. Dan Rook's pulled his arms into his T-shirt because this morning he took the foolhardy decision to discard the long sleeve top. We'll be all right when we get going. Now he's all cold and knackered and we're freezing up here in the commentary box. There's a breeze blowing through. Oh.
God, telling about Brits abroad and complaining about the weather.
I know.
Mate.
Look at that. It looks lovely and warm. He's got heat haze. Where's our heat haze?
He's also got a full suit of overalls, mate.
Yeah, he has. He has. I think everyone is approaching the end of a long day. 3 races to go. No more jump starts, people. Come on now. Let's get it done. Right, reset. What do we got now? Contact between Moser. So the merge is under investigation between Moser and Barbosa. Mandy August slow off the march, didn't want to get a second jump start. That's an instant DQ. Karai's got what he wanted so far, but then he gets a nudge there from Bulio. Bulio ends up in the gravel. Well, you know, I don't think there's anyone to blame there. Particularly myself. Mandy August has gone Joker straight away. Vucic on the back of the pack. So August done the right thing going Joker, and Shu will be helped by Bulio being stuck in the gravel on the outside.
Yeah, so Mandy, of course, having to do 2 Jokers as well, so that's not great for her. As we can see, Bulio is properly beached in the gravel there. You can see it's halfway up the wheel. He's not going to be able to pull himself out there.
Nope. We'll get a truck, attach a rope, and drag that out. Saw a big moose last night, didn't we, down on the way home?
Yeah, we did actually.
A big, well, not a super big one, but I've been coming here for 6 years now, and I've never seen one up close. Seen them in the distance, and then you get driving towards them, they drive off. Yeah, at the side of the road. I was very pleased.
Yeah, we got really close to it, didn't we? We turned around and then
quietly snuck up on it, took some pictures. It sort of looked at us, pointed his ears about. So fair enough, if you want a photo, that's fine. Didn't try for a selfie or anything, did we?
Stupid tourists, I bet he was.
Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah. We're like, yeah. He's like, well, don't you have mooses at home? I'm afraid we don't. We have deer in the UK, but not great big elk mooses. I'm not sure. What's the difference between an elk and a moose?
Yeah, I've got no idea. Hit us up.
David Attenborough, we are not. Apparently the difference is a continent, my producer is telling me. There you go. And I don't think I'm in line to be doing David Attenborough's voiceovers, am I? Nobody wants to hear someone screaming at glaciers. Oh, look at that polar bear! I'll have a go if anyone's interested. Karai leading then. Vucic goes Joker. Where's Mandy August? Mandy is in front. There's another Joker to go. Thomas Karai down there. Karai won that session in the UK, so we know he's got the pace in him. I think Karai used to be very aggressive, but I have to say I think he's reined it in a bit.
Yeah, he has definitely calmed down, and we've seen that generally tends to be the style that drivers are taking now towards rallycross since the circuit racing guys have come in and shown that tidy driving is faster, and everyone seems to have adapted their style to that, including Mr. Hollywood when he was here. He calmed himself down, which didn't seem possible at the time, really, did it? But with his circuit racing teammate, he had to change his style.
He did indeed. Julio getting his hands device and his lid off, gloves into the lid. Standard procedure. Karai tidy on the curve there, hooks the right wheel over it, flies the jump. into the last corner. Yeah, thank you. I'll put it on the limiter all the way through there. 3:05.001 goes fastest so far. So P1 for Karai in the session. 2 races to go. And that's a good result. Now, Karai he looks down his list again. The lists are very long here, thanks to our big entry. P9. So that P11 in this session minimum. And I have to say, I think that was quick. So what were the previous times like? Last has done a 2:59, of course, typically. But Karai with a 3:05, then a 3:08, 3:10 and a 3:16. But it was a pretty decent run by Karai. It's going to depend who in the next 2 races gets clear air. Andy August goes 4th, Preskivus goes 3rd, Sondre Evjen holding on to 2nd at the minute. Evjen would still be leading were it not for that last lap error.
Thomas, one quick word in English and then in Hungarian for us.
Hungarian, thank you. Nagyon köszönöm. Örülök, hogy ilyen jó autóban ülhetek. Köszönöm.
Thank you, köszönöm.
Very happy chappy. Got the whole shot after the full start with Mandy August jumping the start first time round. You don't need that, do you, when you're looking for a great result? Restarts and things are just nerve-wracking.
No, it's nerve-wracking for everyone, let alone Mandy at that point, because you have to reset the whole system and calm yourself down before seeing that ready-to-race light again.
And it is horrible, isn't it? You don't want to take a chance on a second jump start and being sent back to the paddock. It's just like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's a 0 score as well for qualifying. So yeah, that would have been chances of semi-final over.
You're much better off doing what she did, which is to take a sensible approach to it. Whoa, have some of that sunshine. Yeah, not happy with you. I'm not so convinced myself. What do you think about that? I wonder if we can take a look back at the I wasn't sure that was Karai's fault. What did you think?
For me, I think it was just a racing incident in turn 1.
Julio turned into him and got fired into the gravel. I'm not sure about that. But I do like people pointing fingers. Pointing fingers and waving. Waving's our favourite. You've all seen the kind of waving we mean. Anyone watch ARX from Kota last year? Steve Arpin waved at Liam Doran. Special international wave. The Americans are good at waving, actually, I have to say, in my experience.
Hope you're not stereotyping, mate.
No, not. I enjoy it. I must say, I enjoy the ARX press conferences because they don't mince their words. They're like, where our lot are like, oh, well, it was a bit difficult in the race. Yeah, the Europeans, we all tend to be a bit nicey, whereas the Americans are like, that man over there fired me off. It's like, okay, brilliant, good. So, yeah, they're keen. 2 races to go in Euro RX2 Lucas Wavreton, Rennie Munich, Mikko Ykkönen, Hans-Joran Ostreng and Pontus Tiedemund. Says it's 14.3 degrees here. It isn't. I can tell you that. Ready to race for the second to last time on Saturday.
Another jump start.
Just what we wanted. Thanks, Ostreng. Maybe you can do a whole lap for us just to get it back round there. Took a little while to realise, Dan.
Yeah. He's keen to get going. He doesn't want his car to catch fire, I'm sure.
No, for the 3rd time. I did like him. I liked the thumbs up and the appreciation of the whole, live fire situation. Yeah, he had a good sense of humour. Good lad for that. But yeah, tough weekend for his crew. So they haven't fixed one fire. Then they had another one in Q2. Now it's Q3. He's jumped the start. He's I imagine the phrase "not loving it" would be fairly translatable into Norwegian. There's his favourite board. Look, about to be held up in front of him. Yeah, thank you. I know. It is though, isn't it? It's like yes. Yeah. Basically, that board's for us.
Yeah, it's
like
thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yes, yeah. We do it for television, for drama. You're sitting in the car and the double joker board comes up. You're like, oh, go away. I know, I'm annoyed already. Right, take 2. There's a jump start in the last race. I'm disqualifying them. Great start, Tiedemann on the outside. shot. Is he going to go deep? He does. Munich backs off early, goes for the undercut. Going to go Joker, surely does. Walfridsson goes to the standard lap. Tiedemann behind. Then it's Munich with Ikonen, and Ostring takes the first 2 Jokers. So those guys coming out of the Joker lap now. So Munich was clever there because he realised he wasn't going to get it. Well, a lot of smoke off the back of Walfridsson's car from the contact in the first corner. Bumper folded up underneath. But clever tactics from Munich. Committed early to backing out and going Joker. Yeah,
it meant that he lost as little time as possible from going into the Joker on lap 1, because it's so easy to get caught up in a tussle. And you can see now he's already pulled a gap to Ikonen of a second. So maybe Munich is on to challenge here. He's already got enough of a gap to take Walfridsson on this one.
Yeah, up and over the jump. Tiedemann behind. Tiedemann will see that he's pretty wild in front of him with that tyre smoking away. I mean, did he get a last or not? That's significant. You know what I mean? There's sometimes when you just get it in a left or a right. So, for instance, you might in a right-hand bend, there's a bit of smoke. That's fine. When you have a tyre pouring smoke, you know it's going to go at some point, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely getting quite hot. We're seeing a lot of black lines being left behind it. So, will it last the whole 4 laps? I mean, we saw a similar situation with Kristoffersson back in 16, but that was a semi-final.
Hockenheim, semi-final 2. Yeah, such a good race, isn't it?
Yeah, that was awesome. I was actually in the spots tower for that race.
I would have been shouting just a few feet away from you, mate. It was such a good race because Kristoffersson just, well, we won't spoil it. If you haven't seen it, go and look up World RX Hockenheim. You say 16, was it?
16.
Semi-final 2. And it's Johan Kristoffersson, the current world champion, desperately trying to hold on to the win with 3 tyres. And the other one that I like is Backwood, wasn't it? Who won a heat race, didn't he, at Estering with 3 tyres and like with the rim almost smashed up. And that was a mega drive too. You're never going to set an incredible time with 3 tyres, but nobody cares, do they? It's when you do the hero thing, don't you?
Yeah, when you hold everyone back.
Yeah, just send it everywhere, and it's like little bits flying off the car, and everyone's going, yeah, in the crowd. And both Joker together. But this is going to go the way of Munich. Tidily done, ready Munich. Out in front of both. So Munich's lap times 43s. He's in the 43.7. He's 43.9. And our timer screen's going to refresh in just a second, and we can figure out who's doing what towards the top of the sheet. Yeah, it's quick, way quicker than Karai. He's going a second faster than Karai was going, so this is going to go top definitely. Rennie Munich is currently in P6, and this is going to do his hopes no harm at all. Tiedemann goes wide, trying to get around Walfridsson. A few flags flying there for Munich. Go on, lads. They've got some sunshine. Where are they standing? They don't want to stand there.
Do you think we can move the box?
It's so cold. All we do is moan. Rennie Munich 301.8 with Walfridsson. Look at that. So Walfridsson and Tiedemann on the 302s. Miko Ikonen on 304 is where they slot in, and the top 4 go straight to the top of the standings. Rennie Munich with a 301. Let me see what he's done the rest of the weekend. Yeah, that's 2 seconds quicker than he went when he was P4 in Q1. So that's a great time by Rennie Munich. Is that going to be enough to win Q3? We've got 1 race still to come. So good start by Munich. Ikonen outside, but watchful where he backs out early. He knows he's lost the start. On the brakes, on the inside, and commits to the Joker. And Dan, for me, that's probably where he won the race.
Yeah, definitely. He had Tiedemann on his inside for turn 2, so there was really no point in him trying to commit to the standard lap, and going for the Joker lap when he did, and with as much commitment as he did, that gained him, you know, at least half a second on the guys that would have been maybe a bit hesitant.
Walfridsson and Tiedemann didn't really hold each other up too much, I wouldn't say. You know, there might be a little bit here and there where Tiedemann might have felt he could have gone a bit quicker, but yeah, Munich giving himself that fresh air, got the job done. There's that tarmac appearing through the gravel. They might well grade over that again tonight, but Rennie Munich flying over the jump, flying on the timesheets. He is at the top so far in Q3.
Rennie, a superb drive, tactically good and great speed there.
Yeah, was a good heat. Since long time I won a heat, so I'm quite happy.
A long day like this, keeping your head together, keeping the pace up, it's been impressive from you all day, actually.
Oh yeah, so it's, I don't know, we are not 12 hours in the car somehow, so I'm getting too old. more and more for this, but I like it.
Nice. Dankeschön. See you later.
Okay, thank you.
There we go, the last of the cars lining up for the final qualifying race of today. There's Brinderson heading up towards his start position, and the De Bourgs look side by side on the outside. Come on, lads, brotherly fight. They were very sensible early on today. Let's finish the day with some excitement. Sensible excitement is what we want to see. Don't do anything too mad. Number 87 is JB with the red mirrors. Number 23 is Andrea with the green mirrors. Yeah, crowd are still here. In about 5 minutes, they're going to rush off to Happy Street, get partying. Right, here's your grid then for the final race of qualifying from Saturday at Holliers. Peter Hedström and Robin Larsson with Thomas Brinderson on the inside, and then JB De Bourg and Andrea De Bourg on the outside. They're all inside the top 7 at the moment. And I am looking forward to this. Hedström is second, Larsson is first, Brinderson is in third place in the standings at the minute. So this is absolutely key. Here we go. Even start on the inside. The De Bourgs with a contact on the outside. Larsson's got Hedström hitting him hard. Hedström's going to go deep through the first corner. Oh, Brinderson's off into the dirt. Larsson's trying to avoid it. Hedström forces, I think it's Andrea, is it, into the Joker lap? So Hedström, no, it's JB. So Hedström forced JB De Bourg into the Joker lap. But actually, Larsson is the one who's come out of this all right. And Brinderson as well is in P2. So Larsson and Brinderson's had a trip through the gravel track.
Yeah, Brinderson there getting pushed right out wide there. I think Hedström was maybe a little bit aggressive off the start line, pushing everybody wide, and then going into the Joker lap, maybe missing his breaking point, but that's just given Robin the clear area he would have wanted.
Interesting tactic, wasn't it? Basically, if you do go deep in turn 1, you do force the entire field wide, which you're entitled to do, and then to go Joker straight after that is a bit different too. So we'll have a look at the replays afterwards and figure out if we can see whether it was a mistake or a plan. Andrea De Bourg is in front of Peter Hedström, and he stays there. So this is playing into the hands, because Hedström was really quick, wasn't he? Hedström won Q2, and on a drying track, admittedly, but he beat Larsson there. And Larsson now will be hoping to really nail the times, and knowing that he's being held up, would they be on the radio, Tim, saying that he's in traffic, or just going push?
I mean, they'd probably be just saying push, because just to try and get that fast time he can, and because he's got Brinderson there for company as well. Robin Larsson does, so he's just out of commentary position. Actually, Brinderson managed to get a nose up slightly on the inside of Larsson, but not able to get through. So Brinderson maybe showing a bit better pace in this run than he has done so far today.
Neither of them Jokers. Andrea De Bourg goes, and Hedström's Andrea De Bourg is gone. Hedström's going to end up in between the two De Bourgs again. So JB's got past Hedström, hasn't he? Yes. Confusing having two identical cars. So JB's got past Hedström. Hedström's basically in between the two brothers, but the other way round. So Larsson and Brinderson are chasing the time of Rennie Munich, and with that turn 1 trickiness, they're going to have to do a good job to catch up, I think. Larsson's done a 43.8 and a 43.5 now, so Larsson's now really turning it on in the chase. In sideways into the Joker, but he's early. Does he miss all the markers? He does. In the background, the two De Bourgs. There's a problem there, so one of the De Bourgs just going backwards.
Is there a front right puncher for JB?
I think, yeah, it is. JB's gone back, so he's held up both Andrea and Hedström. So Hedström, it hasn't worked out. A bullish approach to turn 1 and turn 2 has not gone in his favour. Andrea De Bourg has been released. JB won't let Hedström through so easily. Larsson chasing it down. Munich did a time of 43.7 on his best lap, and he's only got a couple of tenths on that. How quick was his Joker? Was it enough? Oh, just. So 0.3 of a second quicker. Larsson has just done enough to take the session from Rennie Munich. Rennie Munich P2 in this one. Going to see, Hedström stopped. Hedström stopped up in the velodrome, so absolute disaster for him. I don't think we'll go and interview him about that. He won't like it. So that's a disaster for Hedström, who was in P2. So Hedström, I reckon, will still be inside the top 12, but I say it's a big entry here. Larsson's done it from Brinderson, Dubourg, Hedstrom with the DNF. Poor Peter right on the last lap, that's gutting. So Larsson first, Brinderson third. Rennie Munich goes into second place, and in just a few moments we'll be able to bring you the standings after Q3 and see how that affects the likes of Peter Hedstrom and Rennie Munich. Munich will move up, I think, and Hedstrom, I'm not sure, will drop too far down. So Neil Coulthard is with Robin Larsson. Robin's just nicked it with a couple of mega laps.
Robin, a great way to finish off the day, just quickest overall in that session, and despite what happened in turn one.
It was pretty close. I know the guy in the position one never was going to leave me taking the start, so it was pretty lucky. I was going first out of the second corner, and then was just flat out. And good joker, and Brinson, I had a gap to Brinson all the time, and so good to close the day with the P1 and after the wet in the qualification 2, so it was really nice. Now we can sleep good.
And a quick word in Swedish for all the fans out here at the Magic Weekend.
Ja, det är helt magiskt. Det är synd att det där andra hitet blev lite blöt, men det är så magiskt att bara bryta upp den och bara gasa fullt in på jokern och bara mata på. Alltså det är grym stämning på läktaren och min egen läktare och sponsorer och alla fans. Det är helt magiskt.
Thank you. Tack så mycket.
Fans enjoying that, and those are Robin's fans that you see the RL4 logos on their hats. So here's a look back then at the start. Hedstrom looked really hard into the side of Larsson, goes deep, pushes everyone wide, so Brinson goes through the gravel trap, and I think it was Andrea Dubourg. Oh, big hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, big one, very aggressive there, and he looked like he was already committed to go to the Joker lap to me. He doesn't look like he tries to break too much for the standard lap. Interesting
Tactic, wasn't it? It's kind of like force everyone wide, then go Joker. Actually, to be fair, you know, if you know they've all gone off into the gravel trap, you might be all right. But Larsson got it done, didn't he, with a couple of brilliant laps, and just did enough to be able to take the win in Q3 away from Rennie Munich. Long day for everyone, but some great racing today. We've had it all. Q1 was carnage, Q2 was rain, Q3, you know, for these guys finished, we've got Q3 for World in the morning, followed by Q4 for Euro and RX2, and then Q4 World. So much more action still to come.
Yeah, I can't wait. And what are these guys going to be like after they've slept on it? I'm sure they're going to be all fired up in the morning, ready to go again. It's going to be another wild day.
Yeah, very much looking forward to it. So RX2, we were talking during that about a penalty which we saw had been given to Ollie Eriksson. So Ollie Eriksson was given a 5-second penalty. Then I think Ben-Philip Gunderson was given a 5-second penalty as well for the contact with Sami-Matti Trojan. So take a look at the RX2 standings after those penalties. Kallio is top, Eriksson drops to P2, McConnell's up to P3, Gryers in 4th, Enland, Olofsson, Hoglund and Trojan are your top 8. Ben-Philip Gunderson down in 9th place, then it's Oskarsson, Walfridsson and Nilsson. But I say there's a session to go, and if you look down the right hand side, it's still very close indeed. So big thanks to the whole TV team today, because it's been a big effort from them all. Neil Cole, Dan Rook as well, thank you. Old Hawkeye here has been on it, hasn't he, all day long. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching at home and wearing chairs and all the various different things which have happened today. Don't miss tomorrow. So 9:50 CET, that's 8:50 in the UK. It's early in the States, or late, whichever way you want to do it. Make sure you're watching though, because we're going to be finishing off qualifying. So we're going to go Q3 first of all for World, then it'll be Q4 for RX2 and EuroX, then Q4 for World. So one big show in the morning, loads of carnage, loads of action, decide the TQ and see what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to it. You?
Yeah, definitely.
Marvellous. We're going to get a decent night's sleep though, first of all. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.